Hi! Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be talking about my fall TBR. Personally, I love watching TBR videos, but I don't think I could ever do like a monthly TBR. The idea of having 8 books picked out and those books I need to get through in 1 month is so stressful to me. The idea of doing like a TBR for a season seems more realistic and manageable for me. So I decided that for the first time I wanted to try and make a TBR. So I'm doing a fall TBR just because I thought doing like a season would be a lot easier for me to get through. I will say a big goal for me for fall is to minimize my physical TBR. I don't have a huge physical TBR. Most people I feel like on BookTube probably have like 50 unread books on their shelves. I have more so maybe like 15, but I have a lot of books that I would like to read this fall. So these are all of the books that I have currently physically that I want to get through. And then I also have some new releases that I would like to read, as well as books that I do not own yet that are already out. I feel like this fall we have so many good books coming out, which I'm very excited about. Let's get into these first and then we can talk about the ones that are not released yet or that I do not own yet. If you've been watching my videos, you already know the first book that I'm going to pick up and talk about. It is The Perks of Being a Wallflower. I am thinking about making a whole reading vlog dedicated to this just because I feel like this is, I don't even know if this is technically a classic book, but I feel like this is such a just classic read in the sense of everyone knows the story, but I don't. I've never read it, I've never seen the movie. I do know one major plot point that happens at the end of the book due to one of my friends kind of spoiling it for me just because I didn't think I was ever going to watch the movie or read the book. I just had to go make sure that Stella would stop barking. Also, if the lighting keeps changing, I'm super sorry. I'm trying a new filming spot, so let me know if you like this background, if you like this filming spot, or if you don't. This is a 20th anniversary edition of the book, and it is a very beautiful copy, so I decided to test it out and see if I would like the book. So this is probably one of the first books on this TBR that I would like to read within the next coming weeks. Next is an actual classic that I would like to read, and it is Shirley Jackson's The Haunting of Hill House. I'm most likely going to save this for October just because this is more like a spooky vibe. It is the book that the Netflix series is based off of. I loved The Haunting of Hill House and The Haunting of Bly Manor. Bly Manor was my favorite one, but I didn't know that it was actually based off of a book, and so I really wanted to try reading the book. There are a few classics that I really would love to read. I really want to read Dante's Inferno, I really want to read The Crucible, and then The Haunting of Hill House. I think this is going to be great to read around Halloween, so I'm saving it for then, but it is on my fall TBR because I've had this on my bookshelf, I want to say since like maybe March or May. I'm excited to read this fall. This is the book that has the ink all over the bottom and I don't know where it came from. You probably recognize this book. This is one of Book Talk's dark academia classic books that everyone loves. I don't actually think it's a classic either. This is The Secret History by Donna Tartt. I actually did soft DNF this. I read, I want to say about 70 pages of this book and then I soft DNF'd it because I did not understand what the fuck was going on. It is a murder mystery, if I'm remembering correctly, and it takes place at a New England college. This is probably also going to be, I'm gonna say this for every book in this video, I guess, but this is going to be one of the next books that I read just because I kind of just want to get this off my shelf. I don't think I'm actually gonna like this book. I think it's a stunning cover. I think maybe if I would have read it when there was the hype going around this book, I would have liked reading it more, but I just really want to read it to get it off my TBR. Maybe I will like this, maybe I won't. You'll have to find out in one of my reading wrap-ups that I post this fall, I guess. I literally am only talking about classic books or very like English lit books right now, but I promise there are some more fun books at the end of this video. The next book that I really want to read is 1984. I once had a man tell me that me having this on my bookshelf made me the stereotypical white woman who has 1984 on her bookshelf that she's not read. Super misogynistic to say, but like go off, I guess. I bought this because I actually have never read this. The year that I would have read this in high school, I was post-secondary, so I was in college classes. So I didn't get to read this with my high school class when they read this for our English semester or whatever. 1984 is like that book that you read in high school that everyone always talks about, everyone always thinks about. The idea that Big Brother is always watching. I really don't know anything about this book except for that I think this is the book where the thought police release exists. I have also been saving this for fall because I kind of want to do a video around books that we read in high school and things like that. This fall, I really want to try and read some more like English lit and more mature works, as you can tell by the first couple of books that I've chosen. But yeah, so I'm also really excited to try and read this. The good thing with a lot of these more mature English lit books is a lot of them are pretty short, and I think they're pretty short because they take a lot of brain power to get through. It's happening. Fourth wing. I've been saving this for the fall specifically because two reasons. The second book comes out in November, and I've heard the way that this book ends, a lot of people wish that they had the second book right away, so I've been saving it until it's a little bit closer till the release date of, is it Iron Flame, I want to say. I actually am gonna read this very soon, and there's gonna be a video on it very soon. Fantasy, I think, is just like the best genre to read in fall. If you watched my like realistic what I read in a week, I also talked about and was reading the Throne of Glass books, and the next book that I have to read is Queen of Shadows, I believe. Is it Empire of Storms or Queen of Shadows? I don't know which book is next. I have Queen of Shadows and the Empire of Storms, and then the next books in the series, I believe one of these I have to tandem read. Here's the thing. Actually, I'm not gonna go into a rant about the Throne of Glass series. I really would just like to get these two books for sure off of my TBR so that I can put them with the rest of the books on my bookshelf in my like read book section. If I like the series, I would really like to try and tandem read, not the last book, but the two books before the last book. You have to tandem read, and I've never tandem read before, and I would like to try and do that this fall. The only problem is these books are fucking huge. I think these books are probably like 700 to 900 pages, and I think the last book is 1,000 pages. So for sure the last book is not on my TBR. For sure these two are, and maybe the tandem read book. Okay, and now I'm going to open up Goodreads, and we're going to talk about some of my unreleased books that I would like to read this fall, as well as just some books that are released that I would like to read this fall. One series that I have been reading, I've been talking about on my channel, is the Natural series. I feel like everyone's already finished it, but I still have All In. I have the yellow and the red book. I don't know what the titles are. I think All In is the third book. I would also like to read those two. However, I don't have the physical copies of those books, and those are kind of on the lower end of my TBR. These books that I have physical copies of are my main priority. I actually would really like to read all of the books in my physical TBR and then just do a huge shopping spree to get new books, because I feel like I can't do what most people do on BookTube and Book Talk, where they will just go on shopping sprees to Barnes and go buy a ton of books. For me, if I have a book on my bookshelf for a really long time, I get so bored of it and I will not read it. So I really want to just get rid of these, and then I can go on a shopping spree and buy some books that, you know, are new to my eyes and I'm very interested in. Those are first. Then I would like to finish the Natural series, just because I am in the middle of so many series that I've lost interest in and probably will never finish, that I think it would be really good to just finish a series again. I already said the second book of the Fourth Wing series. I don't know what that actual world, what the actual series is called. I believe the second book is Iron Flame. I would also really like to read that. And also my most anticipated book for this fall is A Curse for True Love. It is the third book in the Once Upon a Broken Heart. It is the third book in the Once Upon a Broken Heart, The Ballad of Never After little series. I am so excited to be back in that world and be back with those characters. That is my most anticipated book. The second that book comes out, I'm going to Barnes & Nobles and I'm buying it and I'm binging it. I do not give a fuck. I'm so excited for that book. And then some random books that I've been seeing a lot lately. For some reason, Vicious by V.E. Schwab has kind of been on my radar. I don't know if I'm going to even get around to it. That is one book that's kind of on my TBR. That's like a little like soft maybe on my TBR. Sorcery of Thorns is another book that I've really been wanting to read for a while. I believe I saw it from Carrie Can Read. I believe that's her YouTube channel. She does the like 3-hour, you know, videos where she talks about like Crescent City or ACOTAR. She's right now talking about the Mortal Instruments series. I believe she loved this book, and I was so excited. I really wanted to read it a while ago. I think I wanted to read it back in like January, February. All of a sudden, I then started seeing people get mixed reviews on it, and so I kind of put it off of my TBR, but I think I would really like the book, so I think I really also would like to try and read that book. And then also, either Bad Luck Charm The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches, or the X-Hex. I don't know if they're all kind of this idea, but I really want to read like a witchy, cheesy romance book this fall, or even a few of them. Realistically, I'm probably going to read one of those books just because I think they're kind of all kind of the same book, just slightly different. I love fall because fall is the time that you should read fantasy, but I've been kind of in a romance kick lately, and I still want the kind of fall atmosphere, but a romance book. And I don't want like a romantasy, like I just want it like romance, but like they're witches, so it's a little bit more fun. Those are kind of all of the books that are right now on my radar for this fall. September, October, November. I got plenty of time to read these books. However, the Throne of Glass series is stressing me out so much, but I want to finish it because I need to finish it before Sarah Caroli finishes it, so that when the Bookmarked podcast does an episode talking about Throne of Glass, that I can actually watch the video. So yeah, we're gonna push through that series. Those were all the books that I'm going to talk about today. Thank you for watching this video. If you have not already, make sure to subscribe, like, comment, do all of those things. Let me know kind of what's on your TBR. I really do love when you guys comment like book recommendations and stuff. It's only happened a few times, but it's been nice to kind of get book recommendations that way. So yeah, thank you for watching. I will see you in my next video. I'm gonna go get a pumpkin cream cold foam cold brew. Or maybe an iced chai. Anyways, goodbye.